Hi everyone, this is Tapash and my channel name is EduQuester. So I am on a series of explaining about background verification, and in the last video I have covered employment checks and I have covered what kind of checks an organization does when it comes to employment verification. So there are a few more topics I need to cover in employment verification, and today in this video I would also cover about educational verification. So what an organization does when it comes to educational verification. Once again, I'm sorry about this entire setup, but this is what I have. So let's get started. If you did not watch my last video first, go ahead and watch, and then you can come to this video. That's when you can correlate. So in employment verification, there are a few more things which one should keep in mind. Um, one is employment overlap. Employment OVER overlap. So employment overlap, what is it? So let's say you are working for TCS, okay, TCS, and you left this company, let's say, on or your date on your relieving letter is on 1st March, 1st March, okay, 1st March. But this is not what the date you were expecting. You were expecting your employment date on the relieving letter, or the last working date on the relieving letter. You were expecting it is supposed to be 28th Feb. Okay, but due to some reason you did not bother. And what happened? You joined, let's say, Wipro. Okay, you joined Wipro on 1st March. 1st March. Okay. So you were busy in joining the next company and wrapping up things from your previous company. So you did not really look at the relieving letter. All right. You join the company, no problem. You submit your relieving letter. The HR of Wipro, the HR of Wipro, HR comes back and says there is an employment overlap. You understood the employment overlap? So your relieving letter has 1st March from TCS, and your joining date is also 1st March in Wipro. So there is an overlap of one day. It is not a big deal, but it is a big deal because it's an overlap. As if there is an overlap, that means it looks like you were working in two companies. Okay. The only way to fix this, you'll have to go back to TCS and tell them, hey, you know what? My relieving date should be 28th Feb. Okay, whereas you have mentioned the relieving date as 1st March. You'll have to correct that. I think if it is bigger organization like TCS, HCL, Wipro, this kind of corrections can happen immediately. But if it is a smaller organization, that's when they can create problem. The other scenario can be, let's say you knew that your relieving date would be on 1st March, okay, but still Wipro, they are kind of in, they're in hurry, and they want you to join on 1st of March, and they said, okay, fine, we will give you the offer letter from whatever. That can also happen, but by mistake they still issue the offer letter for 1st of March. If that happens, again, that's a problem. Maybe Wipro will not tell you anything, but if you join some other company, let's say after leaving Wipro you're joining Accenture, okay, SECEN, let's say you're joining Accenture. If you're joining Accenture, then they may raise this question, okay. So it's always better that neither you join a company early, and nor you take a relieving letter which is showing an overlap with your future company. That is the best way of avoiding this kind of problem. We're also seeing one more problem as an interviewer. I do see this kind of problem quite often. During COVID, what happened? Everyone thought we are smart. You know, someone working in TCS may have also taken up the employment in some ABCD company. All right. Now, when they have taken up the employment in ABCD company, they have thought that, okay, I will not show this ABCD company. That is called moonlighting. But this ABCD company was depositing your provident fund. So you're working for TCS as well as you are doing part time or maybe full time, right? During COVID, no one was aware in ABCD company. They were also depositing a provident fund. Okay, everything is fine as long as you don't get caught. You leave TCS, all right? You try to join, let's say, Wipro. You try to join Wipro. Wipro will initiate your background verification, and in that background verification, the first thing what they will check is your employment wherever you worked. Even though you have not shown this experience on your resume, they can still find out because they will do the Provident Fund portal check. When they check the Employment Provident Fund portal, they will find out TCS was depositing a Provident Fund, okay, PF, and this ABCD company was also depositing a Provident Fund at the same time, and you will get caught in this overlap. So anyone who is still thinking that I can do moonlighting, you can do moonlighting as long as your company, I mean, wherever you are doing a part time or full time, apart from your current job, if they're not depositing a provident fund, there is no way to catch. But if they're depositing a provident fund, you will get caught. There is a solution to also come out of this one. There is a solution, but that is going to be a very, very difficult solution. Okay. The other scenario where you will not get caught, let's say you join Wipro, okay, and this happened, let's say, maybe 10 years before, and Wipro has a policy of checking last 5 years, then you will not get caught if this happened 10 years before. Or let's say you join Wipro and then Wipro has a policy of checking on last 7 years, okay, then you will not get caught. I hope you understood where I'm coming from. Sorry. Okay. The other scenario in employment verification where you have to be very careful. So I have seen many employees, they get emotional after a fight with their manager or maybe someone within the organization, and they leave the organization in a hurry. They don't even realize it could be my fault also. Do not leave any organization after a fight. What can happen? Let's say you are working again for TCS, you have left TCS because you fought with your manager or fought with the HR. If TCS gives bad remarks or they say that, okay, this person, so and so person left TCS because of so and so reason, bad remarks, this will come out during employment verification, and this is going to make your employment verification negative. So do not ever leave a company after a fight. Always leave a company in good note, because you never know, number one, when you will have to come back to the same organization, and in number two, you do not know what kind of feedback TCS could pass on to the other company. See, there is a solution for it, but that solution could take 2 to 3 months time, and by the time you may lose your dream job. So it's better, despite your fight, you leave the organization on a good note, so that there is no bad remarks in the company's portal. And let's say you join Wipro, and when Wipro calls TCS about your feedback, they don't give any bad feedback. They may say, yes, this person has left this organization, it does not work anymore, and he was a decent employee, that's it. Okay. So with this, we are done with the employment verification. I will cover the next topic in this video, that is about educational verification. Let me now cover the educational verification. So what kind of checks an organization does when it comes to your educational verification? If you're hearing any breathing noise, then it's my dog. Really sorry about that. Just bear with me. Educational verification, okay? EDUVERI. So in educational verification, so let's say you are an engineering graduate, okay? So you have done Bachelor of Engineering BE, okay? Or like me, I am a BCom graduate, okay? BCom graduate. So when you write your education, about your education on the resume, I mean, you have to be very careful. I think before even you write your education on the resume, you have to be very careful. So you completed your 12th, okay? and you want to do your engineering. You take admission in a college, but that college is a blacklisted college. Okay, that college is a, let's say, ABCD college, ABCD college. Okay, CLL, and that college is a blacklisted college, BL, blacklisted college. What would happen? See, this blacklisted college, I mean, it is difficult to find out, but you'll have to do some research before you even take admission. I mean, all of us know that a lot of affiliations are required. If those affiliations are missing, then the college can be a blacklisted college. They will still go ahead and you can still go ahead and complete your engineering because the college wants money. They will not tell you anything. But after your graduation, you will get to know the college from where you have done your bachelor's of engineering was a blacklisted college. And before that happens, it is the responsibility of the parents to verify where they are getting the kids admitted. If it is a blacklisted college, your career is ruined. The career is ruined. Okay. You won't get job in good companies, good organizations. You can do a smaller jobs, but not in good organizations. So that is very important. दूसरा है, I mean, back papers. There are many organizations, there are many students who, I would not say not good, maybe it becomes very overwhelming for them to clear all the papers at a time, so they keep back papers. Okay. When you go for an interview or whenever the HR asks you about whether you have cleared your engineering, right? If you have back papers, please be open so that you don't get into trouble later. So I have seen many candidates, they come for interview and they say, yeah, I am a graduate. Okay, because during the interview you cannot verify, you believe in the candidate, but remember that if you say you are a graduate and you submit your documents, I don't know how you would submit, and when it goes to verification, you will get caught, you'll have back papers. And if you get a negative employment verification, understand that there are companies who blacklist you for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. That can happen. That can happen. So one of my client, they are the big investment firm, one of the renowned, you know. So they have a policy of blacklisting if at all it's an educational fraud, or if you have back papers you did not show. So they have a very strict policy. If they catch you, then they will blacklist you for 5 years. That means for 5 years, next 5 years, you cannot apply in that organization, and that could be your dream job. So be very, very careful what you are writing on your resume when it comes to education. When it comes to education, the margin of error or the margin of mistake is 0%. You cannot make a mistake when you talk about your education. Okay. There is one more thing between education and employment. So there are many graduates, after the graduation they try for government jobs. I mean, there is no harm in trying for government jobs, but if the gap becomes more than 2 years, then also it becomes very difficult to get a private job, or to get a job, let's say in TCS, Wipro, obviously they're private jobs, because the organization who is interviewing you somehow do not want to accept the gap unless and until you have done some certification in that gap. They think you may have forgotten whatever you have learned in your last 15 years of education because of the gap. And at times it becomes difficult to explain what you have done. Even though you may have prepared for the government jobs, the moment you say, yeah, I did not get a government job, it sounds like a failure. You may or may not accept it, but it sounds like a failure. There are many interviewers who will try to show, no, it's okay, but you will not get selected. So It's up to you. Obviously, if you want to prepare for a government jobs, it's up to you. But when you have decided, um, I mean, to me, let's say I come from a general category, so I know that getting a government job, would be very difficult. So after my graduation, I did not even think about it. I just went for the private jobs. Okay, so as an individual, I will recommend that you assess yourself whether you can actually get a government job, because right, what's the cutout and all that. uh, my advice that don't waste your time in government jobs if at all you cannot. After assessing yourself, get into private jobs. At one point you will earn more than your friends, those who are in the government jobs. So that's my point of view. There is nothing, there is nothing called wrong or right. That's my just point of view. Okay. All right, so we spoke about some of the scenarios in employment verification and some of the scenarios about educational verification where you could go wrong. There is one more scenario which I want to touch upon. Let's say you are working for, this is a combination of education and employment verification. Okay, let's say you're working for TCS. Okay, so nowadays what the organization does, let's say you worked for TCS for 3 years, 3 years, and you are still working. They have a policy of reinitiating the employment verification after every 3 years. Okay, this I have seen people getting terminated because of this verification. So, if you have done something wrong in your employment verification, maybe some goofed up papers, you did not have relieving letter, they have given some consideration and all that, you can again get caught in this verification. And if the company is running tight, when I say tight on budget, they will take this kind of opportunities to fire you. And I have seen many guys getting fired because of this. Okay, so it's always better that whatever you show on your resume related to employment verification or education verification is true, and you have every document. If you do not have a document, you have solid explanations which you can give to the HR. Before you join any company, there should not be a negative remarks on your background verification checks. Okay. All right. So I will end the topic here. Again, my name is Tapash. I will leave my WhatsApp number in the comment section. If you want any sort of guidance, any sort of clarification, you can always contact me in the WhatsApp number. And you can also go to my LinkedIn profile, Tapashkar, and send me a message. I'll be happy to clarify your doubts. Okay. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. These are good content. I understand the setting may not be proper, but these are good content. No one is sharing this kind of information in YouTube. Please support me. Subscribe. If you subscribe, you do not lose anything, just that you get all the information. Please subscribe and support me. Thank you.